Chad Gable coming back at you with another update from the shack this time. Thankfully, we're getting her pieced back together, getting it in a renewal just like me. I'll show you guys some of that in a little bit, but we're back from Birmingham. Got the right side worked on, and I went dark for a couple weeks after that because, to be honest, like, my head was not in a good spot. My body didn't feel like it was in a good spot leading into that. I was still in a lot of pain on both sides, and it was doing a number on my mind, on my mindset. As far along as we were, I felt like I should not have been in the amount of pain that I was still in. Like I said, I was still feeling very fragile in the last video, and that was lingering. But here we are, 3 weeks post-op on the right side, and it's like I've done a complete 180. The cleanup work we had done on the right side just relieved so much of the little nagging pain I was having all the time on this right side that was just constantly with me. And I think that was part of what was going on in my head, is just like, man, I'm just not getting better, because it was always there. And it's gone already. The right side is already pain-free, and I can't believe I'm saying that. My mindset is great because I've got the range of motion back that I was looking for. So when I've referred to this whole process of being a sense of renewal for me, I feel like I'm finally getting that. About the last 10 days to 2 weeks have just felt like this massive shift in everything. The way I feel, the way I'm training, the way PT's going, the way my mind is working and functioning. I'll let Adam, my PT, take over and explain some of the more in-depth stuff on what we had done so you guys can understand.
So just a few cleanup procedures on the right side here, and nothing like he had done on the left side where we had to wait a little bit longer to get into some more of the strengthening, because we're not waiting for any tissue to truly heal up after a repair. Posterior elbow, he had a low fragment, loose body removal, and just some cleanup of some of the kind of some frayed cartilage in the elbow joint. And that's really helped him out, gain more extension in his elbow, so he's got more motion there, allowing him to straighten his elbow out now because of it. Cleaned up kind of the bicep stump up there, the proximal stump of the biceps. As well, that's taking away some of the pain that he was having up in his right shoulder, and his strength has come back super fast. It's been a few weeks now, and we're good to kind of really get after it on this right side.
Yeah, baby.
Progress has been great thus far. We're still kind of tracking at the point where you're doing so well, we're having to hold you back more so than worry about, oh, you're behind, anything like that.
Sure.
Yeah, so now you're kind of caught off on both sides, where we don't really have to worry about, slowing down one side versus the other. Bulk of the healing of the rotator cuff repair is done at this point. Yeah. So next few weeks, we'll start some closed kinetic chain. That means weight bearing, putting some weight through your arms, so we can really start pushing at this point and start doing more like overhead strength training, more functional stuff, things that will translate to you getting back in the ring.
Shoulder pads are on?
Shoulder pads are on.
Brother.
All right, take care.
See you next week. So we are like cooking with gas at PT at this point. I find myself just like pouring sweat at the end of PT sessions now, which is great. And on top of that, one of my favorite parts of the last couple of weeks is training has just taken a giant leap forward. Everything in terms of these sessions has kind of like amped up to a degree that I've been waiting to access for, months now since I actually got hurt. We're finally getting back to that level where I feel like I'm training like Chad Gable trains again. So we are at a gym just outside of Minneapolis right now. Like I said, the shack is still undergoing some of its upgrades and repairs to return to its glorious form. It's going very well. I'm very happy with it so far, but it's not quite ready. So I found some great gyms in the area that have just perfect equipment, top of the line stuff, the kind of stuff I need right now during the comeback. Friendly on my joints, friendly on my tendons, on my ligaments, everything I need.
The beginning of our leg days, we're starting with some of the BFR training I talked about with the biceps. So they haven't been able to train upper body as much as I wanted to, but we're slowly sprinkling it back in, and this BFR training is a great way to get a ton of blood flow to the biceps So let's get it done. I'm gonna let this feel the mat's pressure through 3 sets. Anywhere from 15 to 30. No real stress on the joints or anything. It's gonna get pumped up, man. Now we trade legs. No joint pain. No pain. No pain, that's the key. Used to think the more pain I was in, the more I was accomplishing. Stupid. The stupidity of youth, my friends. Learn from me, don't do it. So I don't want to give any huge spoilers about the Shack. With this, Atlantis Hip Thruster Pro may or may not be coming very soon to find a place in the Shack. White and black, OG Atlantis colors. Don't tell anyone yet. Taking my rest periods are the hardest part for me. I have the idling anxiety is kicking in. I don't like to be doing nothing. That's good for my brain.
It's crazy because like even as recently as like 10 days ago, I was so in my head about like the injury and still feeling pain and still feeling fragile, like I talked about in the last one. And now it's 10 days later and it's like the whole script is completely flipped. And it's just like shows how fleeting just like the emotions or feelings are. Just like in my head, I'm thinking like, this is it, man. I'm too far in. I shouldn't be feeling like this. Like I'm never going to get it back. And then now here we are 10 days later and I'm feeling like, obviously I'm not pain-free or anything yet and not nowhere near it, but feeling more and more like bulletproof by the day. And what a joy to like experience that knowledge that just like the feelings don't matter. They go like that. They go like that. Now here I am 10 days later. I feel like a robot. So pushing hard again.
Nothing feels better than pushing hard.
I set 2 living goals for myself in September, on September 1st. One being live a life worthy of the gospel, which has a lot to do with some of my walk recently. And then another important one is execute like an Olympian, which, you know, what I mean by that is the past few years, I've just been doing as much as I possibly can, usually all the time. But if I execute like an Olympian, I realized that when I was training for the Olympics, that's not how we did it. We pushed as hard as we could when we were supposed to, and then we rested. Try to get back to that frame of mind where your rest and recovery is just as important as the pushing hard. Never had a problem with the pushing hard stuff, and I don't mean that to sound arrogant or anything. It's the resting, the idling, the idle anxiety. That's my challenge. So take it on, head on.
So yeah, September's been a great month so far for me. You know, the kids started school again, which helps me routine-wise because getting them back into their normal routine lets me get even more into my routines, which I love. And just specific life goals for me, you know, things that are important to me. I'm reading my Bible 30 minutes every day. I'm watching deep-cut wrestling matches again from my past that I used to love and new stuff I've never seen before because watching Raw every week again, watching SmackDown, watching the PLEs, WrestlePalooza was just on. I got to come back with a vengeance. I got to be a part of this stuff and make an impact in a way that I never have before. So that's all helping me to do that. I've also decided to kind of loosen my grip on a few things in September. One of them being you know, this kind of quest for personal development and self-improvement that I think a lot of us are on. What I found with all this stuff when I've read these books or listened to the podcasts or listened to these experts, you know, about this stuff is you kind of know all that information already. I think a lot of us have to just take inventory on what it is that has made us successful when we have found the success we're looking for. And for me, I narrowed it down to this idea that I think I've just been the most consistent person at doing the most boring and tedious work. So that is the thing I got lucky to be blessed with. I've got a bigger threshold to be able to force myself to do that than most people. And that can take you a long way. So all that to say, I've kind of let go of all the what is going to make me the best version of myself stuff. I already know. I just need to execute. And for a lot of us, I think that's the hardest part, is the execution. So I'm focusing on all that. I feel a lot of momentum right now, and I know it's going to continue to build over the next coming weeks. We've got the kids' fall break coming up very soon, and we've got something pretty cool planned. And if all goes well, I think the next video should have some pretty cool footage, maybe from my previous life and endeavors that I can share with you guys. So I hope it all works out. So like I've said in the past, if you've got some goals for yourself that you've set, don't lie to yourself. Don't break promises to yourself. Don't be a coward, most importantly, okay? And we'll see you next time. Thank you.